Growing up, I got to tell you, I always watched you. We always knew that you had our back. We always knew that when something was going wrong, that Dov Hikind was going to stand up for our community. How did you get it started as an
Well,
advocate, as an activist for us? What got you going in this arena?
I think the key part is the fact that when you grow up in a home where your parents survived the concentration camps, where your mother went to Auschwitz in 1944 with her mother, other members of the family, and most of the family went straight to the gas chambers the day they arrived in Auschwitz in 1944. That's what they did to our people. And I have spent my entire life, from a very young age, uh, every single day, just about reading, studying, trying to understand what was done to our people, and recognizing that all of us have an obligation to be there for each other. We should be there for everybody, for all good people, but we have a special responsibility. We're members of a beautiful club. It's called the Jewish People. It's a remarkable club. And I'm very proud to be part of the Jewish people. And, when I served in the legislature for 36 years, I represented all kinds of people, every kind of community, but always very proud to be a Jew, period.
Right. And can you share with us? I know that you've so many stories. Have you ever been in a situation where you really had to step up to something that scared you, that your courage had to come out to defend our people in an environment that may have been a little bit beyond what you expected?
Well, I'm not sure it's one particular thing, but there are many situations. By the way, I did not grow up as your previous guest, no one in my family was involved in politics. When I got married 45 years ago, we didn't dream of running for office and being involved in the world of politics, but it was a way to do things. So, there have been many challenges and difficulties. When you're a member of one party, you're supposed to be loyal to that party, regardless of what goes on in that party. Uh, I have always been very proud to say, privately and publicly, that I love America. I'm a proud American, but I'm a very proud Jew. And the well-being of our people always comes first. So that is something that many times is a real challenge, because when you see things going on, sort of, whether it's your own political party, whatever party that may be, it's not always easy to do the right thing. It's easy to criticize people from somewhere else, but not necessarily from within your own family or political party. So, there have been many, many challenges in my life. One of the things, again, it goes back a long time ago, one of my greatest challenges back in 1993, one day, someone by the name of one of the inspectors in the New York City Police Department came to my office, closed the door, and said he had to tell me something extremely important. And he told me at that time, his name was Schignelli, Chief Schignelli. He said to me that I was on a list to be assassinated. Now, I don't know if you're much younger than me, but it was a period, it made headlines during that period. I was on a list to be assassinated for 3 months. My wife, myself, the kids, we lived with protection from the intelligence division of the New York City Police Department, day and night. When I went to shul, the police followed me, one person walking behind me, a police car. When I went to Albany, state troopers, I'll never forget. People used to wonder why there was a guy 6'5", he was very tall, a state trooper standing behind me all the time on the floor of the New York State Assembly. And that was that was a group that was involved, a radical Islamic group that literally wanted to kill me, wanted to assassinate me.
Wow.
So, there have been a lot of stories similar to that. But I think the bottom line is this: you've got to be there for your people.
Yeah.
On whatever level it is, it doesn't matter. Not doing anything is not an option.
It's interesting you say that. And it's something that I think we're trying to drive home, and I'm trying to understand myself, and everybody is in this world. I don't think that there is a way today. I think there are so many ways today. And what advice would you give people? And I think there's different people with different capacities or abilities, and some people have the ability to get up and some people don't. Some people feel more
Right.
familiar and comfortable, some people don't. But I think that everyone has that fire inside them that says, I am a Jew and I'm proud to be a Jew and I want to be there for my people. What are some of the ways that you think people can be there for each other, especially during these periods of time?
And we are in very challenging times, and it's not going to get any easier. But every single person, you're absolutely correct, that every person, God gives us different things. Some people are great speakers. Some people, everyone has something that you can use towards contributing towards your people. And by the way, it's not always about accomplishing so-called great things.
Right.
Being there for your neighbor,
Very good.
being there for your friends, saying hello to your neighbor and your friend every single day. When you see your neighbors having difficulty and you inquire and you try to help and you try to be there. So those little things actually get you very far. And I think God loves when we are there for each other on whatever level. Now, everyone has to make their own decision. What are you going to do? What can I do? And if you look and if you search, you can get involved in something that you feel comfortable with, that pleases you. There is so much out there. There's so much good out there, okay? And everyone needs to be inspired. Project Inspire. Inspiration is one of the most powerful things. You're an example of that. When you speak and people listen to you, inspiration makes people react and they think, what can I do? And everyone can find that answer if you really look.
Right. Well, I completely agree. And Mr. Hikind, you've inspired us today. Continue doing what you're doing. Thank you for what you've been doing for all these years.
Thank
And
you.
more people are watching than you think, but I'm sure you're aware that when you take a stand for our community, that you're doing for us. And I think that message is needs to be clear. And I hope that it is, because wherever we are, we take care of each other. Thank you for being on the show, and thanks for what you do.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks so much for watching. For more content, like and subscribe, and be sure to tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern at theshabbatshow.com or right here on YouTube.